It's time for that complicated love-hate relationship. It's another Choosing Beggars episode. If you'd like your story to be read on the show, why not visit the subreddit link in description and share your story with us. Even if you don't have a story, you can read and upvote the stories you like to help the best stories make it into the show. Thank you to all those who have submitted your stories and been involved in this small but growing community. In today's Choosing Beggars, an artist is commissioned to paint a mural on an expensive car dealership's wall. You'd think they'd offer a generous amount with the kind of profits they are making, but even rich people can be choosing beggars. And our fan-submitted story: after gaining special access to the school's super-fast Wi-Fi, he's got an entire school of choosing beggars begging him for the password just to play games at lunchtime. When he uses the password to help his autistic friend, he discovers there is no level of low that a choosing beggar won't stoop to. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. This story was called "Exotic Car Dealership Wanted 60-Foot Mural for Less Than the Material Costs in Exchange for Exposure." One of my favorite stories is when I was contacted about doing a mural. At the time, I had been doing full room murals for businesses on the side, while running my custom motorcycle paint shop during the day. A Harley-Davidson dealer gave my number to a new exotic car dealership that was about to open its doors. They sold nothing but Ferraris, Lambos, Porsches, Audis, etc. All expensive and high-end stuff. So the co-owner calls me and introduces himself and tells me about their business, which we'll call Douche Motors. "Hi, we are looking to have a mural painted in our waiting area." "Okay, what are you looking to have done, and how big?" "The wall is 60 foot long and 8 feet high, and we want a realistic Lamborghini to span the entire length with the Douche Motors logo. So it would have to be 55 feet by whatever height." "Okay, is the wall prepped?" "What's that mean?" "Free of holes or damage, primed, based and ready for art." "No, it's an ugly color right now that needs to be changed and has some damage. But you should see the $10,000 Italian leather couches we bought, and all the huge TVs everywhere." Not sure why he included this info. "Okay, so if you have me prep the walls, it's going to add to the cost. For what you are looking for in that size, full realism, the logo, the prep work and materials, without looking at it, I'd have to say it will run about $4,500. He pauses. "Well, see, we weren't looking to spend that much. We just spent about $10K on all these Italian leather couches and TVs to put in there. We talked to a guy who said they could make a vinyl printout of the picture we want to stick on the wall, and we were hoping you could do the mural for that price." "How much is the vinyl printout?" $160. "There's just no way. I'd charge you that just to prep the wall before I even started doing the art." "But all our Douche Motors customers own expensive cars, and you could sign the mural, and they would see it, and they would probably have you do work for them. It would be great exposure. Did I mention how we spent $10K on the Italian leather couches and big screen TVs? Your art would look awesome next to them." "I don't need exposure. I have plenty of work, and I've never received a referral from someone I've made a deal with. There is no way I'm working for a week on a mural that size for $160. There's no way you'll find someone who will. Buy the vinyl decal." We ended our conversation, and a few hours later his business partner called me with the same pitch, acting aggressive, bragging about their $10,000 Italian leather couches and big screen TVs. This time telling me what a mistake I was making because of how much exposure I was going to miss out on. I think the dealership lasted 2 seasons and was gone. I still sometimes cry at night about all the exposure I missed out on by not doing that mural. Typically, when you think of a choosing beggar, you imagine a poor person, someone in desperate need. But this story clearly shows that even rich people can be the biggest choosing beggars. I suppose their mentality is just to make as much profit as possible, therefore pay as little as possible. Or perhaps they're so rich that they just feel entitled. "Why wouldn't you paint a mural for us? I mean, we're amazingly rich. You should be thanking us just to be in our presence." I think perhaps the sneakiest choosing beggars are ones like these. They use their status to intimidate you, to make you feel like you are in the wrong for expecting reasonable payment. But don't let them get the better of you. In the end, these guys went out of business. And really, if that's the way that they were treating people, is it any surprise? This fan-submitted story was called "Apparently I'm the bad guy for saying no and not letting people take advantage of my mentally handicapped friend." So recently at my school, we got a new network set up strictly for teachers and staff or employees. Me, working as part of the school, got access to the network, which was 100 times better than the guest Wi-Fi. Sadly, as with all good things, this almost abruptly came to an end, due to there being a massive use spike on the guest internet. We closed it off during non-extracurricular activities. Soon enough, word got around that I had access to the new fiber Wi-Fi. For those of you who don't know how good that is, that's 1 GB download and 100 megabytes upload. You can guess how this went. I was instantly bombarded in between classes, before and after school for the password. Some people would threaten me. Some would say very horrible things. Every person who asked got a simple no. No one who had been given the code was allowed to give it out. This is when the hordes of excuses came in, like, "Please let me message my sick grandma," or "Just for a minute, please." But I would not budge. The whole reason the guest network got closed was because everyone kept crashing the server computer, which I got tired of fixing. This is where my friend, who we'll call G for good guy, comes in. He has a form of autism that causes his speech to stutter and gives him learning disabilities, but that doesn't matter to me because he's a great person. One day, he needed to call his mum through Facebook Messenger because his head was hurting during lunch. I agreed to let him on the Wi-Fi so long as I was in control of the password. People caught instant wind of this and started taking advantage of my poor friend, who can't handle stress because of his mental handicap. They'd beg him for the password, which he didn't have, or try to con him into getting me to give them all the code, saying that it's unfair that the insert very horrible word here gets it. We just want to talk to our folks, which wasn't what they wanted to do. The whole reason I got the guest internet shut down was because of how frequently the server computer kept crashing, which was once every day the past few weeks. Why? Simple. Almost all the girls are doing Snapchat streams or constant TikTok, while almost every guy who has a phone is playing one of those battle royale games. It got to the point that teachers, the ones who needed the internet, couldn't use it. But back on track, my friend G eventually broke down from all of this, but people kept pandering him. So I finally stood up. One by one, I went to every person who was doing this and exploded. They were all CBs trying to lie their way into a private network, and also trying to take advantage of someone who is mentally handicapped. This sort of helped. These past few days, people have been non-stop begging me for the password, but I refuse, and G reports them for me. Needless to say, if you're a choosing beggar and trying to manipulate someone who doesn't have a normal mind like you, you're absolute scum. This story was called "My Mother Kicked Me Out Before Christmas, but still asked me when she was going to receive her gift that I had bought her." Probably not as choosing beggars as others, but earlier on this month, my mother kicked me out and tried to have me sectioned. She made it clear that I was never welcome back home. For Christmas, I had planned to send her away to the Azores, a beautiful cluster of islands off the coast of Portugal in the Atlantic, for her and my stepfather in the springtime for a week. Flights, villa, and everything else paid for. My younger sister let slip that I had arranged this for her, and on Christmas Day, after 3 weeks of no contact between us, I get a text reading, "Hey, hope you're having a good Christmas. Missing you. Just wanted to know when you're going to send us our holiday that you bought for us. You can send it in the post if you want, so we don't have to see each other. It is so nice that you've done this for us. Thank you, and have a good new year, X." I was fuming. I replied with, "Sorry, I think you have the wrong number," and gifted it to my brother and his girlfriend as their first holiday away. The nerve. I think choosing beggars must be the people who most lack self-awareness. They'll treat someone incredibly horribly, and then their entitlement kicks in, and they still feel like they're owed something. If you'd like your story to be narrated by me, don't forget to visit the subreddit r/VoiceyHere, link below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.